welcome back to KMMA. I'm Andy O.
And I'm Khalil Deal. And we are KAMMA, about to talk about our early predictions for the main card for UFC Tampa. Again, Joaquin Buckley versus Colby Covington is the main event. We're going to start off with the who's fighting in this main card. We got Navajo Sterling versus Tuco Tokos, Daniel Marcos versus Adrian Yanez, Dustin Jacoby versus Vitor Petrino, Manel Kape against Bruno Silva, Cub Swanson against Billy Quarantillo, and of course that's the co-main. And then the main event of the evening, Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley, one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. So let's get it started with the first fight here with Navajo Sterling versus Tuco Tokos. So who you got here, Andy O?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Navajo Sterling here. Tuco Tukos, I don't even really know if he's a UFC caliber yet. I think he's probably gonna try and take down Navajo Sterling. If Sterling can manage to stay up, I think he's gonna end up knocking Tuco Tukos out because while Sterling doesn't have many fights, he's only 5-0. He's still training with a good gym there in New Zealand with all those guys, and he's been knocking out people lately. So theoretically, he's facing better opposition and he's starting to knock them out. I don't know how much better Tuco Tukos is than better competition, but let's call a knockout here for Sterling. What about you?
Definitely, I'm with Navajo Sterling as well, man. You can see that he's on a tear. All 5 of his fights he won, and 4 out of those 5 were all by knockout. Tuco Tokos got destroyed against Umar Sy. I don't know if you remember that fight in his UFC debut. Umar Sy, a big, strong brother, he came in there and he fucking took him down. He fucked him up and submitted him with a rear naked choke. Tuco Tukos did not look good in that fight at all. He was getting dominated by Umar the whole time. So I don't think Tuco Tukos is that great. And Navajo Sterling is a guy who's a known powerful striker, just knocking out people left and right. I think Tuco Tokos is more of a grappler, more of a wrestler type guy. But he didn't do any of that in the Umar Sy fight. We didn't see him really do much. He tried to stay on the feet, and it was Umar doing the takedowns, and he was the one that ended up getting on top of him.
Actually, early on, he ended up getting Tukos against the fence, kind of half down, and then he was bragging to his corner about how he was handling him and how Sy was getting all tired out, and he could feel it.
Yeah,
and right after that happened, Sy got up and started taking over the fight. So
yeah, I remember that he was like talking to his corner. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I'm good. And then
I got this guy or something like that,
But he wasn't good.
No.
So I definitely like Navajo in this one. I think he's gonna. Hey, he's also 7 years younger. Not to mention he's gonna have a nice 6.7-inch reach advantage, almost a 7-inch reach advantage there. So to strike this guy from a distance and piece him up, hit him with some powerful shots from a distance, it's going to hurt Tuco Tokos. I don't think Tuco Tokos is going to be able to get in close enough to take him down. I think Navajo Sterling fends off the takedowns there and knocks him out before he gets a chance to even try to take him down. So, yeah, not much science here. We're going to go with Navajo Sterling, the upcomer. A lot of good fights this guy's had and knocking out people left and right. So, we're in agreement with that one there. Navajo Sterling by knockout. Let's move on up to the next fight. We got Daniel Marcos against Adrian Yanez. This is going to be a close fight. This is going to be a good fight. This is going to be fight of the night, I think. I think this is going to be a banger. This is one that, both of these guys are going to go out there and put on a really good show. I'm leaning on the side of Daniel Marcos, undefeated. The guy is the only Peruvian guy that I'm going to back here, because this is one of Javier's sons here, and he's been doing well, okay?
Oh, shit. He didn't let you down yet. That's right, eh?
Daniel Marcos has been doing an amazing job. One of the only Peruvian guys I'm backing here. I like the way this guy fights. He comes out very aggressive. He's got amazing leg kicks. His leg kicks are powerful. They're dangerous. I could see him kicking the shit out of Adrian Yanez's legs, slowing him down, hurting him with those leg kicks.
Speaking of leg kicks, yeah, go on, go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that these guys are everything's identical with these guys. They're the same age, they're the same height. They say they have the same reach advantage. Everything is down the middle, except for the wins. Daniel Marcos coming off of a good win against John Castaneda. Also came off of a very good win prior to that against Davy Grant, who's also fighting in this event against Simon Oliveira. He knocked him out, whereas Adrian Yanez, yeah, he did look good against Vinicius Salvador with that knockout. But prior to that, man, he was on a two-fight losing streak there, losing to Jonathan Martinez there by leg kicks. Keep that in mind. Adrian Yanez lost to Jonathan Martinez by leg kicks. Daniel Marcos, amazing at leg kicks. Remember that. Also, he got knocked out by Rob Font as well, the fight prior to that. So I can see Daniel Marcos being the better striker and also attacking those legs. And I wouldn't be surprised if Marcos ends up fucking up his leg again and maybe even getting a TKO because he damaged his legs again. I think Daniel Marcos is the better striker. If the fight goes to the ground, Daniel Marcos has some grappling. He's good at wrestling. He's got some jiu-jitsu as well. Out of the 16 wins, we could see that Daniel Marcos, he's got 8 knockouts and 8 decisions. So he doesn't have any submissions, but he can do it. I mean, he has some grappling. Adrian Yanez, though, he's a good fighter as well. But I just think that Daniel Marcos is going to be too quick, and he's going to get him with those leg kicks, man. So I got Marcos winning by KO or decision. What about you?
Yeah, Adrian Yanez should be a boxer because those kicks you brought up, yeah, he doesn't use any. So if I were Marcos here, I would stay away from that boxing range, man, and yeah, try to use some kicks. Not saying that he's a good as kicker as who Yanez lost to, because that guy has like a ridiculous kicks, some of the best in the business. But yeah, I just think the variety of Marcos is going to be too much for Yanez, that fights too much in the box. And sure, he did look good against Salvador in his last fight, but that was a way step down in competition. And when he was fighting higher caliber than that, he lost those 2 in a row to Martinez and Rob Font, right? So yeah, I gotta agree with you that Marcos has been the best Peruvian son so far, and I'm gonna have to go with the variety and just the ground game ability. Maybe a little bit more of that. Marcos, maybe he'll put that to use, and yeah, give me a decision for Salvador.
All right, so we're in agreement with the first 2 fights of the main card. Let's move on up.
Sorry, I said Marcos. Yeah, give me a decision or not sub. Give me a decision or knockout.
Yeah, that's same here. That's got the same thing as well. All right, moving on up, we got Dustin Jacoby against Vitor Petrino.
Here, I got to jump off any kind of bandwagon that existed with Justin Jacoby. I know he's a good kickboxer, blah, 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 but those losses come from somewhere, and I think Petrino's going to get in his face and not give him the room and take him down. I don't think Petrino is that crazy, but I think he's going to have enough to overpower Jacoby here, get on top of him, get some top control, and maybe get a knockout ground and pound style.
Yeah, I like that. I like that as well. I'm definitely going with Vitor Petrino now. Some people are going to say, but he lost to Anthony Smith. Listen, that was a super mistake.
Against a guy that still has half a brain and was able to just snatch the gilly up. Like
it was basically what had happened in that. It was that Vitor Petrino got Anthony Smith against the cage. He was trying to pick him up. He was trying to get the double leg. He did successfully get the double leg, and then he had his head down and was trying to lift up Anthony Smith and slam him on the ground. That's what he wanted to do. But unfortunately, as he had his head down, Anthony Smith just wrapped in that gilly and ended up getting him into the guillotine, and he had to tap out. And he realized that after, he was like, "Fuck, I made a stupid mistake there." He's not going to make that mistake again against Dustin Jacoby. Dustin Jacoby is not a submission threat. He's not a guy that has any takedowns or any submissions. Dustin Jacoby is a straight Muay Thai fighter. He's a kickboxer. Um, but if you look at all those red losses there, those red dots there, it's really pathetic. He's lost 4 out of his last 5 fights. Got knocked out by Dominic Reyes in his last fight. Didn't look good there at all.
Yeah, I don't even think he approached that fight well either.
Yeah, and Alonzo Menefield beat him by decision. Azamat Murzakanov beat him by decision. And Khalil Roundtree beat him by decision. His only win was against Nizhachukwu, where he knocked him out. And even in that fight, that was surprising. But Vitor Petrino, if it wasn't for that loss to Dustin Jacoby, to Anthony Smith with that guillotine, he was on a tear. He was beating everybody in his sights. Anton Turkalj, Marcin Prachnio, he got a submission on him. He knocked out Modestas Bukauskas and also beat Tyson Pedro by decision. So I could see here Vitor Petrino, 7 years younger too. He's not going to make the same mistake as against Anthony Smith. He's going to go out there, knock him out, or get him on the ground and submit him. It's going to be a KO or a submission, very simple. He's going to go out there and be the more powerful guy. I could see him, striking with him a little bit, getting close to him, going for that double leg, picking him up in the air and slamming Dustin Jacoby on the ground. And then at that point, he'll stay on the ground, pass guard, and lock in a submission, either an arm triangle or if he can get it on his back, he'll get a rear naked choke there. But I see a submission or a knockout, like you said, ground and pound could happen as well. Just don't see much of a game, any kind of a game plan for Dustin Jacoby to beat Vitor Petrino. I don't see it. So I got Vitor Petrino winning by finish, and we are in agreement. Let's move on up for the next one here. We got Manel Kopp against Bruno Silva. Who you got here, Andy? Oh,
Yeah, this could be fight of the night. The only thing that's stopping it from being it is Manel Kape doesn't always fight at full speed. But when he does, he fights more in spurts where he does nice combos and all of that and really fast speed. But he also takes his time at times. You know, he can fight a slow fight just like he did against Makayev last time. And he lost that fight to see Makayev off the door. But I think he's just a little more skilled than Bruno Silva. I don't think Bruno Silva's a pushover or anything. He's fast too. He has a lot of skills. But he hasn't really beaten anyone nearly the caliber of Manel Kape, man. If you look at his fights, he did beat Durden there, and it was very close against Durden too, but he ended up catching Durden in the striking, and Durden's striking is it's not that good, right? Before that, he's beating Tyson Nam, Victor Rodriguez, and JP Buys. Remember JP Buys, a real deal.
yeah.
Yeah, so come on here. I think Kape will be slightly on another level, and I see Kape actually getting the knockout here.
I like Manel Kopp. I think he's more athletic. He's actually going to be a little bit bigger too than Bruno Silva. He'll be an inch taller. He's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage as well. Manel Kopp is obviously just the more athletic fighter. Bruno Silva's pretty decent too on the feet. Not bad. He's got submission skills as well. But Manel Kopp, first of all, that fight against Mohamed Mokayev, he was able to evade the takedowns a lot in that fight, and also didn't get submitted, which is what Mokayev his specialty is. Mokayev tried very hard to get Manel Kopp down, tried to submit him. He wasn't able to do it. I can't see Bruno Silva trying to do it either if Mokayev couldn't do it. I think Manel Kopp is going to be the faster striker. He punches him a lot quicker. He's got some flying knees. He's got some spinning back fists. He's very athletic, very explosive too when he fights. But like you said, he could start off slow. He could be a little bit more defensive. Start off slow and wait to land some good shots.
Yeah, sometimes you just want him to throw a little more at times.
That's it, But I think that in this fight, Bruno Silva is going to be the aggressor. And I think Bruno Silva is going to try to come after him. As Bruno Silva tries to come after him, I can see Manel Kopp landing some hard punches on him, landing some knees.
Maybe a flying knee?
He's got very good kicks, yeah, flying knees possible. He's got very good kicks too, Manel Kopp, and very good striking. He has good combinations. And if he wants to take the fight to the ground, he can too. He's got good grappling as well. Manel Kopp, out of his 19 wins, let's take a look actually at his wins. We could see that he has 11 of those 19 by knockout, 5 submissions, 3 decisions. So, the guy's powerful. He can knock out people. I say he knocks out Bruno Silva in this one. I'm going to go Manel Kape by knockout in this one. I think he catches Bruno Silva and lands a good combination and ends up knocking him out. It could go to decision too, but I think I'm going to lean on the knockout here to catch Bruno Silva. Also up there in age too at 34 years old. Manel Kape's 31, so he'll be younger there. And I think he's going to be bigger in this one. I think he's going to be in better shape, and I can't wait for the face-offs. All right, so we're in agreement with this one as well with Manel Kape. Let's move on up to the next fight here. Cub Swanson against Billy Quarantillo, man. This one is tough. This one is tough to decide. Billy Quarantillo is going to have a 2-inch height advantage on him. It's going to be a tough one. I think this fight's going to be also a banger too. The hometown guy, Billy Quarantillo, fighting out of Tampa. The crowd's going to go wild for him. If this fight goes to decision, I think they're going to give it to Billy Q. Man, he also, Cub Swanson's getting up there in age, man. He's 41 years old.
I'm sure the crowds in Tampa like Cub more than they like Billy Q.
I don't know, actually. We'll have to see that. But both of these guys coming off of, 3 losses out of their last 5. Cub Swanson, man, those losses come from somewhere, man. He's 29-14, and Billy Q 18-6. Coming off of a loss to Andre Fili by split decision there, Cub Swanson. That fight was...
That's not his fault, though, that one. There's nothing he could have done about losing that fight. Nothing.
He lost to Jonathan Martinez by knockout, 2 by leg kicks, and he lost to Giga Chikadze, so... but Billy Q and his also too losing to Yusuf Zalal. But Yusuf Zalal, that's not a bad loss. I mean, Yusuf Zalal, we've seen how much of a killer this guy's been. He's been fantastic. He did beat Damon Jackson, lost to Edson Barbosa. It's a tough one, man. Lost to Shane Burgos. Man, I don't.
How do you see the fight going, man?
I don't know if I'm going to go for Cub Swanson, man. I kind of want to go for him. I like Cub Swanson, man. I just don't know if he can get it done, man. The height advantage for Quarantillo, I think he's going to be the bigger guy there. Man, it's a tough one. Who you got, actually? You know what? I'm gonna come back on this one. I want to see who you got in this one. Actually.
The way I see this fight is going, I really think Quarantillo has lost his step. He doesn't look. He looks like the slightly older fighter in this fight than I think Cub is going to look. Because Cub lost very little. He still looks like he can bring it, man. The guy's a legend. He's always had decent takedown defense. He has better movement than Billy Q. Sometimes I think Billy Q looks like a really poor striker. Sometimes I think he looks pretty good though. I think
Swanson. You know what? I'll go Cub Swanson.
I think Swanson's going to be able to move around the cage enough and to be able to stop those takedowns that Billy Q's going to want to go to when he feels he can use them. And I think Cub Swanson's just a better striker, man. He's a more crisp striker. He never really had crazy power, so I don't think he lost much overall. And I think he just can beat a fighter at Billy Q's caliber, especially since I see Billy Q slowing down a little bit. Like Cub, man, he's not slowing down as much as I thought he would. I still think he has a couple wins left in him.
Yeah, so, very tough. Also, Cub Swanson, man, he goes out there and he fights hard. He's got grit. The guy's a well-rounded fighter, though. With 12 knockouts, 5 submissions, and 12 decisions. So,
and I like the fact that this is a 5-round fight. Give me some good old Cub Swanson action for a full 5 rounds. So give me decision for Cub.
Yeah, I'll take Cub Swanson by knockout or decision. I don't think he subs Quarantillo, but knockout or decisions is quite possible there. I'm not super high confident in Cub Swanson, maybe like you are there, NDO, but
confident enough.
I think that if Edson Barbosa was able to knock him out, I think that Cub Swanson could possibly knock him out too. Cub Swanson does have some power. He knocked out Darren Elkins, and you've seen how good Darren Elkins is, right? And Cub Swanson was able to knock out Darren Elkins. That's a tough task to do, to put away a guy like Darren Elkins. So I think he could put away Billy Quarantillo by knockout or decision, but not very confident in it at all. But at least we're in agreement in all of the fights in the main card so far. We're getting at the last fight here, the main event of the evening. It is going to be Colby Covington against Joaquin Buckley. as I kept mentioning, Joaquin Buckley is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. Of course, I'm going for Joaquin Buckley here. I am not jumping off the train until he loses. This guy has been on a fucking tear. He has been killing people left and right. His last 5 fights, he's been dominating. He just looks amazing out there, man. He's 30 years old. He's going to be six years younger than Colby Covington. Colby Covington hasn't fought in 11 months. His last fight was against Leon Edwards, where he lost a unanimous decision to Leon Edwards. Kamaru Usman was able to take this guy down several times. He called Kamaru Usman a crotch sniffer because he was upset at the fact that Usman took him down all those times when he fought him a couple of times. Man, Joaquin Buckley's got some wrestling. He could take down Colby Covington. He's got explosiveness. He's got power. He's very unorthodox, so you don't know what he's going to do. He's got spinning leg kicks. He's got flying Superman punches. He's got good explosive takedowns, good ground and pound. Look what he did to Wonderboy Thompson in his last fight, man. Knocked him out cold. Also did a very good job against that super huge, tall beast of Nursultan Rozabayev. He ended up winning a decision against him. Also knocked out Vicente Luque. We saw how good Vicente Luque was just last card.
He was washed as hell in that fight.
Hey, man, Vicente Luque got the win, right? Didn't he? And
yeah, but don't say he's awesome because he was shit in that fight just because the last fight, even in his last fight, he wasn't good. He got lucky.
Well, I'm just saying that, Joaquin Buckley's going out there and beating some good guys. I think he beats Colby Covington here. I think Covington, he's overrated in my eyes, I find. I don't find he's that good. I think he just really has some wrestling. He's not a very good striker. Joaquin Buckley's going to be physically imposing, way more built and ripped than him, way stronger. I got Joaquin Buckley for the finish in this one. KO or submission, baby.
Man. Yeah, since Buckley came down in weight, man, don't forget he was fighting middleweights there for a while, putting up with these huge guys. And so he definitely has the strength, I think, to put up with Covington's, his normal style of offense, keep the pressure on, the constant cardio, the takedowns. Buckley's going to have to contend with those takedowns. I don't think he's ever faced a committed takedown guy like Covington before, maybe much earlier in his career. But with that being said, I think just the power and the well-roundedness of Buckley and the fact that he's been more active and he's on the right trajectory, man. I think he's probably... I think there's a good chance he catches Buckley and knocks him out here. So give me a Buckley by knockout or decision. Yeah, I got to get on the Buckley wagon here. If you guys didn't know, I wasn't always on the Buckley bandwagon. It took some convincing. But I'm on it here for this fight. I think this is his opportunity, man. It's going to be real good shit for him if he can manage to beat Covington, who's a pretty big name.
Yeah, I mean, Joaquin Buckley's he's got his eyes set on the prize. This guy's trying to go for a belt, man. So this will catapult him up the rankings by beating Colby Covington here. I forgot to mention he's going to also have a 4-inch reach advantage on Colby, which is going to be significant with the striking.
Yeah, and it was a great idea to move down and wait for him for sure. So everyone, if you've been around for this whole show, don't forget to like and subscribe.
That's right, man. Leave a comment for the algorithm, man. You know how the algorithm works, man. Just leave a comment, anything. We're trying to get 50 subs, guys. Please. The end of the year, it's right here. We need 2 more subs. That's all we need. Smash that sub button. Get us to 50. We're going to start the new year. We're going to have some new technology in the new year. Don't worry. We're trying to build up our show here and make it a little bit better for you guys. We started this show at UFC 300 7 months ago or 8 months ago. And we've been going at it every single week. So subscribe, guys. Hit that sub button, like. And everybody, wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and stay tuned on Friday for our final thoughts and face-offs.
And winning bets.
Yeah, baby. KAMMA.